Greetings, guys and girls, and a very warm welcome, watchers. The sun is shining and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 battle featuring, spawning in the north, it is going to be the Overcommand West forces of Yeziwen, who has featured once before on the channel and gets another chance to shine here today. And spawning in the south, playing as the United Kingdom forces, sorry, it is mstcrstn, who appears to have a vowel-free username for my ease of pronunciation. Lol. mstcrstn. mstcrstn. Okay, mstcrstn. Goodness me. Damn it. Seriously, people, use vowels. Anyway, yep, so yeah, we're on a Fame and Vil approach here, and we're also back in Company of Heroes 2, woo! Which I haven't cast for a little while. In fact, you know what, I haven't really been that active this last week. It has been an incredibly busy time, but I finally have a moment to do some casting, and that's why I'm busting it out here. And as these two players just move out and get their initial scuffles underway, I'm just going to talk about a few things around the channel, just thoughts of mine that I've been having recently. So basically, I do love Company of Heroes 2. It is a fantastic game, but I do sort of feel as though it's kind of in a holding pattern now. I doubt that we'll see that much more official support before, you know, Dawn of War 3, and then, you know, that Dawn of War 3 really signifies the incoming arrival of Company of Heroes 3. Usually those games tend to release in a sort of alternating pattern. We get the Dawn of War game first, and then we get the Company of Heroes game using the same game engine. So I reckon we'll probably see Company of Heroes 3 in, like, I don't know, 2018 or something, but I seriously think that Relic's attention will be mostly focused on Dawn of War 3 and things like that. And that's just the way it has to be, you know, as a developer, you've got to focus your resources where they're going to count for the most. Company of Heroes 2 is now a fairly venerable game, and I honestly think probably in terms of the development cycle, it's probably concluded, unless Relic wants to surprise me with a big announcement about some more DLC or a new expansion or something like that. So, yeah, with Company of Heroes 2, I mean, I will keep casting Company of Heroes 2 as long as I enjoy casting it. And I still really, really like it as a game, and I still really like you know, watching it and casting it. So I don't think I'll stop casting Company of Heroes 2. But I would like to branch into some other RTSs, some slightly more active RTSs. You'll, of course, have noticed that I've been casting Homeworld Deserts of Karak on the channel. And I know that that's a very small RTS, and it's not to everyone's taste, but it is a fantastic RTS. And I will keep casting that because, again, it's fun. But I'm going to be looking into other RTSs in the future, probably over this next month or so. And I don't know, if you have any suggestions, good games that I should look into, good games that you think I could cast, then do let me know. I've a decent mind to cast some StarCraft 2, because that's a game which I've been watching for, well, since the beta, and I've been playing since, well, yeah, since the beta. So that would be a fun one, I think, for me to cast. It's a very intimidating game to cast because it's a lot more, like, mapped out. Like, it's a lot more of a known quantity, and that means that as a caster, it's, like, much more demanding to cast because there are many more people who know a lot more about it, and also the lines of play are a lot more figured out. So you really need to know what you're talking about, basically, which I never do when I'm casting. But that's fine. I've accepted that's part of my casting style. But anyway, yeah, I will be experimenting with some StarCraft 2 over this next month, and I'll have to get myself some kind of replay set up for that so we have a nice overlay and everything. But yeah, anyway. But as I was saying, it's turned into quite a ramble now. Yeah, I will be looking to cast some different games as time goes on the channel, simply because I feel like Company of Heroes 2 is just kind of, there's not as much of it going on, and it is beginning to rotate out of the spotlight a little bit. So, yeah, looking to branch out with some other games. Also, wow, I got 1,000 subscribers. That was kind of amazing. When I started this channel, I just never thought I'd even get 100, and it baffles my mind how I've gotten 1,000. That means that there's 1,000 people out there who said that they'd be interested in hearing my voice on a semi-regular basis. Like, what? What? It is inconceivable to me that that could even be a thing. So anyway, thank you all very much for subscribing. You're all heroes and legends, and it means such a lot to me that so many people seemingly enjoy what I'm doing. I don't think I'm going to change the recipe very much. I just like casting RTS, so I'm going to stick to doing that. And I think possibly a big reason of why I like, or like why people like my casting is because I actually enjoy it. So I don't want to mess with that too much. I don't want to do anything that I'm not going to enjoy. I don't want to turn this into work or anything. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on casting RTSs. Like I say, Company of Heroes 2, a fine game, but there's not that much changing in it. There's not that much going on, and to be fair, there's not, you know, there's not that many big tournaments and stuff like that. So I am going to reach to some other games, I think. Also, I think to celebrate my 1,000 subscribers, I have a cool idea for refreshing the look of the YouTube channel, which we're kind of working on behind the scenes. And I also have a cool idea for something to do as a little celebration. But I need to. I have a comrade in arms for that one, and he's not quite lined up for it yet. So we're going to pick a date and get that one on the go, and it should be quite a funny cast, but we'll see. So a couple of things coming to mark the 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully that'll be fun and exciting. And let's just see now. Was that everything I wanted to talk about? I think so. I always use the beginnings of like Company of Heroes 2 games to talk about like the general state of the channel and things that are on my mind. And I think that just about covers everything. Obviously, if any of you have any like thoughts or input on anything I've just said, it'd be really cool to hear that. So do comment and let me know what you think I should be doing, or let me know what you like or don't like, or I don't know, let me know your thoughts basically about everything I've just said. If you feel like sharing them, that would be cool. So I think we're ready now to turn our attention to the game at hand. Now, I haven't actually been paying turbo close attention to what's been going on. Looks like Yeziwen, he's up to 3 squads O Volks. He's getting a Puma, so he's got Mech Reg, and there is that tech building right now. The frame rate's being a little choppier than usual. There we go, that seems to have picked it up a bit. So he's going to be going for the early Puma, which I do really, really rather like. The British player has gone for the AEC, so we're going to have a scout car off here, which is going to be quite entertaining, or a scout vehicle off. mstcrstn. Goodness me, that's going to get really annoying to say pretty quickly. But anyway, yeah, mstcrstn, he's gone for the Mobile Assault Regiment, so he's going to have access to the landing mattress, to the flamers, and all of those abilities that we're used to seeing on that commander. A good map for the... whoa! Volk squad here in desperate need of a fallback. Does fall back, but the AC gun is tracking him. He is going to exfiltrate safely, though. So slightly lucky there for Yeziwen to get that one out of there. There was a slight risk of a squad wipe, but it didn't translate, and he would have been unlucky, I think, if it would have translated into a squad wipe for him. AEC gets tagged by a Faust. That thing's going to need to fall back and start repairing. Where is the Puma, actually? There we go. Okay, Puma is on the field, and there is a... You know, this AEC is stricken. And this is definitely an advantage for OKW in this kind of a fight, is that, you know, obviously their infantry has the Panzerfaust, has that ability to break engines, whereas the British forces don't have that utility. Massive gribble fest, just units grinding away in mid. MG34 is going to be the kingmaker in this situation, gets set up in a lovely position. This AEC is going to have to move shortly, but that's the sound of the Puma, takes his first shot, and now we've got this scout car off developing here. The AEC is just stricken and moving so slowly, it's going to use its one and only defensive smoke option, but I don't think that's going to save it. The Puma is still tracking with its turret here, and boom, there goes the kill. And that, of course, means that Yeziwen takes a firm lead in the early stages of this game, able as he was to eliminate the fuel investment of his opponent whilst maintaining his own Puma, which can go on to be quite an asset in this game. Oh no, these Royal Engineers also seemingly running into danger. I'm not quite sure why they were that far forwards, didn't see that one, but it looks like the Kubelwagen, boom, going to get taken out here. And that is at least something for mstcrstn, although, you know, a 210 manpower unit doesn't have quite the same impact as losing a scout car, losing the AEC. But at least he was able to get something. And, you know, make no mistake, Kubelwagens, particularly when you're playing against UKF, if you don't have a sniper, can be very bothersome. So always good to get rid of that Kubelwagen, but undoubtedly it is Yeziwen who finds himself ahead in this game. And that situation reflected in the scoreline right now, 495 over 424 for the Axis player right now, sitting pretty. And what are these folks doing? Oh, that's turbo awkward. These Tommies just hiding in the one place they couldn't be seen. That's very nice. So it looks like the Volks are going to relocate into a slightly more distant building here. They can't shoot from here either? Oh my goodness, these Volks. Oh, that's so annoying, because these 2 Tommies are actually firing, and that is going to put damage on them slowly but surely, even though they're in that building. So, let's check the tech here for mstcrstn. No sign of the company command post yet. How much fuel is he on? Okay, he's stacking fuel. Looks like he wants to get the company command post sooner rather than later, I would imagine. I don't think he's going to try for another AEC. 6-pounder getting added into the mix here, and that's going to give him some poke against this Puma. It's probably going to announce itself here momentarily, and it will be on Yeziwen to rapidly relocate the light vehicle here. Bang! There's the 6-pounder hit. Okay, now he needs to rapidly relocate. Is he going to be able to get out the arc? I think he is, so that Puma's going to survive. Nice reactions there from Yeziwen. That is good. Incendiary grenade going to come down onto these Tommies. And now it's mstcrstn who needs to react quickly, and he is gonna. Some decent damage coming down off of that incendiary, but no squad wipe, so that's okay. Vickers gun gets displaced out of this building. I think by another incendiary, and now it looks like Volks here skirmishing with Royal Engineers and some Tommies. I think the Volks are going to have to GTFO here. They're just too damaged, but here comes some supporting Storm Pioneers, plus Volks from the north here. So this fight actually still alive. How are these Volks staying and fighting? Love it. There is an unchecked squad of Tommies chewing up ground in the west. Looks like possibly... nope, okay, I thought a unit was coming that way, but it is in fact the Schwervermacht Schlepper. Whoa, that Schwervermacht Schlepper is way out of position. And there isn't the fuel yet for Yeziwen for like another minute to build the Schwerpanzer HQ, so that one has no business being there. Fallschirmjäger gonna be deployed into this building, so Yeziwen gonna pick his commander, and it is gonna be the Luftwaffe Ground Forces Support Doctrine. And is that what it's called? I always add an extra word. Okay, yeah, support is the word which is not in his word. It's just the Luftwaffe Ground Forces Doctrine. Okay. I always get that one wrong. But anyway. So yeah, these are Fallschirmjäger really kicking out the damage from this building, forcing one squad back, and they are in heavy cover here. The Vickers get set up, and they're getting pelted by 7 Tommies, so they're going to have to go soon, but if I were him, I'd focus the Vickers, and I think he is. Yeah, Yeziwen focusing that Vickers simply because you get the received accuracy bonus against the weapon team. But I think now he's trading badly. Now these Fallschirmjägers, remember, they're very expensive, very fragile. Remember how much veterancy they give to opposing units who are hitting them. Yeah, the veterancy just clocking up on this machine gun. Clocking up. First star of veterancy is up on the Vickers. These Fallschirmjägers, actually, I hope Yeziwen hasn't forgotten about them. They're down at, like, really low health, actually, and it's very easy to forget about units in buildings, I find sometimes. Yeziwen not going to make that mistake. Gets that Fallschirmjäger out of there, that last man. I think I would have liked him getting them out of there when there were still 3 or 4, though. I don't think trading those last 2 Fallschirmjägers was worth it. And that is, like, quite a lot of manpower. Fallschirmjägers, of course, quite expensive to reinforce, so don't know about that necessarily. Anyway, so let's see. British player is beginning to worm his way out of this situation. He's falling badly behind in terms of the scoreline, though. 495 over 285 now, the scoreline. Tommy's finally going to be addressing that by grabbing this point, but yeah, mstcrstn with a lot of work to do in this game if he's going to start feeling comfortable. I think he has a decent force. 3 squads of Tommies with upgrades is nice. The 6-pounder, 2 of engineers, and a Vickers gun does represent a competent and well-rounded force. So he has the tools to do what he needs to do. He also has the company command post just finishing up in a second. So he has the tech as well. If he can get some fuel together, he can choose some spicy British late-game units. So this game far from over, but Yeziwen with a dominating opening phase of play, and for the scoreline to look like this at the 12 minutes mark is usually really good for the overcommand player. So that is nicely handled by Yeziwen, and he finds himself in good stead as we move into the mid-game here. Another nice fight being taken here. Just too many rifles here. These Tommies, they're going to stay in trade as long as they can, and they are in decent cover, but this is too many rifles. They're not going to last long. Looks like these Volks want to close up, and they're probably going to angle for an incendiary here, I would have thought. Meanwhile, fight in mid. MD34, though, is in a fantastic position, gunning down Royal Engineers. Will start gunning down these Tommies. And I have to say, this MD34 has actually been, just phenomenally well set up and used. Every time I see it firing, it's just in a great position. So Yeziwen using the machine gun team to police mid to much benefit there. It's all good stuff for him. Infiltration Commando is going to be popping out of this building. Here comes the light Gammon Bomb. The Fallschirmjäger's in jeopardy. They are going to dodge the Gammon Bomb, but they have to GTFO. This is far too much direct damage. The Infiltration Commandos here will probably get a squad wipe if they can just focus fire, but it looks like the Fallschirmjägers are going to get out of there. MG34 suppressing, and some Storm Pioneers running in to get the counter fallback on this unit of Commandos there. Very nicely executed from Yeziwen. I thought for sure he could lose those Fallschirmjäger there. Pardon me, but he didn't. That is... wow. What? Okay, it looks like mstcrstn has just had enough. Gonna GG? I guess. I think this game was still very much alive. Obviously, he's miles behind, but only in the scoreline. His map control isn't even that bad. He would have had enough fuel for a tank at this rate in 2-3 minutes. And I don't even mind his army. I guess he was just kind of feeling fed up of being the dog. I mean, he was not getting the upper hand in most of these engages, but look at the top left, look at the top right. It's 3 squads of Volks, Fallschirmjägers, Storm Pioneers, and an MG, versus 3 squads of Tommies, infiltrating Geezers, 2 squads of Royal Engineers, Vickers, and an AT gun. I mean, and of course there's a Puma for the Axis player, but I mean, this Puma doesn't have, there are no targets here in the top right for that Puma, really, and there is an AT gun, so that Puma at the moment just not getting any utility, and you can see that by the fact that it's, still got the same veterancy it had after it killed the AEC, pretty much. So that Puma basically a non-unit, and apart from that, these armies look absolutely bang on, and it is typically the British forces who get stronger as time goes by. Specifically on this map when I play as Overcommand, I often find that things are going fine and I've got nicely vetted up infantry and I'm bossing the field, and then the British player, often at sub 200 victory points, is just able to come back through really strong British armor and strong British infantry with upgrades and veterancy. So I feel like mstcrstn here GGing a little early, but perhaps he's just fed up of this game, wants to get on to the next one, and that is his right, so fair enough to him. So yeah, in closing, like I was saying, just to summarize the things that I was saying at the beginning of the cast, yeah, I will be branching out into other RTSs. If you have any suggestions for content you want to see on the channel, anything like that, I'm using this 1,000 subscriber mark as a kind of chance to like change tack a little bit and you know, do some different things maybe on the channel, at least insofar as casting other games goes. So yeah, any suggestions? I'm thinking about everything right now. I'm thinking about everything. But as I said, kind of leaning with StarCraft 2. I would love to cast a bit of StarCraft 2. So that's going to be a thing. Also, like I said, going to spice up the look of the channel just a little bit. I think I'm going to, you know, redo the structure of the front page, come up with some new channel art and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I guess that concludes. I guess that concludes this broadcast. I'm just trying to think. Is there anything else I wanted to say? I don't think so. So, yeah, thanks very much for watching. This, for now, is Magpie842 signing out.